I was grateful for the opportunity to use my talent building a fence for Premiere Equestrian. This fence had to have a 1% vertical change from one end of the run to the other. So, I used a slope calculator.
Utah is a tough place for digging holes by hand. Ha ha. I don't get to the gym because working the land, I get all the exercise I need to stay jacked. I use a digger bar like this to loosen up the ground and break through rocks. I measure the distance between posts many times before pouring cement. This rail, flashing in red, had to be centered between each post 9.3 feet apart. The rail sits inside the post from its center, so I can pivot the next rail into the next post right along the line. After loosening up the ground with the digger bar, I used the post hole digger to clear a post hole. It's a process whereby I usually have to switch back and forth between post hole digger to the digger bar, which is really just a manual jackhammer. Getting down 2 or 3 feet in Utah is always challenging, and I'm never surprised to find tree roots, boulders, old fenced post footings. That's when I usually do have to use an electric jackhammer. So I also have a gas-powered generator just in case there's no electricity on the site. I forgot to record it, but the first step here is to run a string in a straight line from one corner to the other. This line is used to make sure each post runs straight across the fence line.
Wednesday, June 15th, 2022.
Now that I have a 3 foot deep post hole, I set up my post right next to the line. Then I shift it around to make sure it's straight and has a level ground underneath before adding cement. Here, I have set a few choice rocks and a little dirt underneath the post to keep it from pivoting away from the line. But not quite touching the line, I add a bag of cement and adjust and readjust the post before using the level. I measure one side of the post and then the other. And then, because there is a vertical change of 1 1/8 inch between the corner post to the next one, all the way down the run, I set the level on the rail that goes between the posts to make sure it's level horizontally before measuring the vertical distance. This post is up too high, so I use the mallet to pound it down perfectly 1 1/8 inches higher than the previous post to contour the slope. Also, so as not to damage the top of the post, I place a shim across the top and pound on that as opposed to the post itself. I measure and remeasure until it's perfect. Then I check to make sure it's still level on all sides. Now, I pour water on the dry cement and check the levels and the slope once more before moving on to the next post and repeating the steps again.